Welcome to the Snazzy and Sage podcast. I'm Dr. Carrie, your host and coach. Each week, I chat with remarkable guests who are thriving in their next chapter with confidence, purpose, and style. Because the next chapter isn't about age, it's all about attitude. Let's dive in. Today's guest is not only a powerhouse in business, she's someone I deeply admire and respect. With decades of executive leadership as a CEO, business consultant, and successful Amazon entrepreneur, Theo Prodromitis has helped create exponential growth and profits for her own companies and hundreds of others. She's a brilliant marketing strategist whose expertise spans everything from business development and intellectual property to manufacturing, logistics, and strategic communications. Theo is also a fierce advocate for women in business and small business leaders nationwide. Her work has made her a sought-after spokesperson, award-winning trainer, and national speaker, with appearances at Amazon headquarters, the Amazon Boost Conference, Voice America, and the Home Depot Innovation Center. She's developed impactful training programs for Fortune 500 companies, written a series of books and trainings. I am so excited she's here. Please welcome the dynamic, insightful, and inspiring Theo. Welcome, Theo.
Thank you. What a great, who wrote that? It sounds exciting and also tiring.
I always say when I give my bio, I'm like, I need a nap.
Yes, exactly. No, it's great. And it's great to be here. Thank you for the opportunity to connect with your new and emerging audience that is really going to gain great insight from your wisdom.
Thank you so much. Well, first, I wanted to get a little bit more about your background. Can you please tell us about yourself?
Sure. Well, I think the easiest way to sum it up is it's 3 words. It's Greek, mom, and entrepreneur, because that sort of covers everything. Being Greek will give you sort of the backdrop about, the way I talk with my hands and, my big Greek hair and the passion that I have for life, and then being a mom is my why. I have 3 amazing kids, college age, and that is my why for everything I do. And that's where the endless energy comes from. And then the third part is entrepreneur.
That's fantastic. And what was your first company? What was your first role in entrepreneurship?
My first company was called the Fig Tree Trading Company, and it was a company that did custom market surveys. So a market research company and a bakery. So we would send out the tin of cookies with the logo of the company, along with a physical postcard with a survey of the customer satisfaction. The second business I'd launched with my brother is a line of natural care products, sponges, because Tarpon Springs is the sponge capital of the world. And we grew up there. I was born in New York City and then raised in Florida. So I had the best of both worlds. So Tarpon Springs and Spa Destinations came about because when I was early in my career, I was a national sales trainer traveling around the world. And then when I got married and settled down, I thought to myself, women just don't pamper themselves enough, and they maybe don't have time to go to the spa. So Spa Destinations was born out of creating the at-home spa experience. So it was about wellness. And I've always married those 2 things, wellness and entrepreneurship, because even if you don't prioritize it, life is going to make you do it later in life. And sometimes things come at you sideways. So Spa Destinations is about creating the at-home spa experience, making every day a luxury experience.
I love that. And I think like many other people out there, I put myself last. I don't ever put myself first. The job comes first or family comes first. I was talking to a friend yesterday about just taking 5 minutes for me or 5 minutes for us, whether that's breathing or playing with pets or going for a walk. And I'm so caught up in my day-to-day work that I'm not taking that time. And I think it's a great reminder. You said something about fulfillment, which makes me jump to Amazon. And you have tremendous experience selling Amazon products. Can you share some background information about that? How did you get into selling Amazon products, and any advice you have for people listening?
Oh, absolutely. I love the topic of Amazon. I've been blessed. I've featured in here. This one is the USA Today. More recently, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce featured me in an article on how to sell your brand on Amazon. And it really started, I guess you really are very good at, the process, because it's Spa Destinations that brought me to Amazon. We had launched originally Spa Destinations for in-home parties. And then we had to, when Amazon was coming up, that was 2014, we decided just test the waters. And we were an early adopter of selling on Amazon. And so we started very early, and I was fortunate enough to be invited to a women's leadership conference in about 2014 or 2015, and met one of the vice presidents of Amazon. And he actually gave me the opportunity to be featured with their public relations department, because I was so passionate about sharing the Amazon opportunity. And that's how it started. The Amazon journey has been inspiring. I've learned a lot. I had the opportunity to testify in the U.S. House of Representatives small business congressional hearing as a witness, because they were talking about the impact of these e-commerce sites. And I was sitting next to, there was a place for somebody from Google, from Amazon. It was incredible. So I got to represent the voice of small businesses and what's important to us. And also, people really don't know probably that 60% of the sellers on Amazon are small businesses.
Wow. And what I love, you've taken your experience not only to consult, but also to speak. And we've been on some panels together. You're a prolific speaker, really sharing your story with folks. And then recently, a published author. Can you please share your journey into writing and publishing?
Oh, absolutely. I've always written. I've always been the go-to person in marketing, but I really wanted to write a book. Wasn't sure what I should write about. So many different topics and ideas. And an opportunity came up to submit some writing in my network, which is also very important, the people that you spend time with. So I had an opportunity through one of my networks to submit a writing sample for co-authoring with Jack Canfield. He's the author of Chicken Soup for the Soul, for those of you that don't know, which is a series that has sold 500 million books.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes. And Mark Victor Hansen is the co-author. But I submitted this writing sample. I was nervous about it because, hey, with all of the success that I have, I know that your listeners can relate to this. When you reach a certain level of success, it's more difficult to become vulnerable, to submit a writing sample for somebody to be able to say, because I'm the boss, I'm the entrepreneur, I'm the boss, for somebody else to say yes or no. So I think I made my daughter press the button of enter. I sent it, was accepted, and I am featured in one of the chapters in his book, The Success Formula. It was my entrance into authorship, and it was a great way to start collaborating with the best.
Please tell us about the wellness journey.
Oh, absolutely. In my progression as an author, what I've found is a creative outlet. So the wellness journey is dedicated to one of my close family members who lost his life. And I really felt like it was devastating. So whenever I have something that is soul crushing, I try to transform it into something positive. And I thought, what could I do in his honor to actually help other people? I came up with the idea of basically the wellness journey, and it's a series, but because there's 101 ways to health and healing, and I didn't want other people to lose hope, because I think what we can all relate to is when you are hit with something that is a health challenge, then you sort of lose hope. The only path most people go, they go to the doctor, they get a pill, they get a surgery. There's just one way. And with the wellness journey, it actually outlines over 100 ways, whether it's Reiki or cupping, ancient wisdom, and it matches Eastern medicine and Western medicine. So my tagline is build smart, lead strong, and live well, because they're all critical. You can't do one without the other.
I'm so sorry for the loss of your family.
Thank you.
by the way, but you took a soul-crushing event and you turned it into something positive. How can you help people? And for me personally, that's what I love about stand-up comedy is you can take a very challenging event and find the humor in it, really looking for the silver lining, just because we have to heal in order to move on. And wellness is such an evolving activity, and you could be feeling great one day and down the next, great the next day, down the next. And what something that may have worked in the past might not work today. So I love that you're diving into different opportunities for people to feel better. And I saw that you've got a journal that goes along with the book series as well.
I do. And the journal is unique. I don't see anything like it. A couple of decades ago, my mother passed from cancer. And when I went through that with her, I was the family member that kept track of everything, all the medications and the doctor's appointments and what chemo she was on, and then shared it with my family members. But what this journal is not just for illness, it's for wellness, is to keep track of integrating both. And it's just one place for caregivers and for you personally to integrate your wellness. It's not just sick care, it's well care.
And speaking of well care, as we continue to evolve in our lives, I wanted to ask, how do you view aging?
I view aging as a great gift if you do it gracefully and you just take those challenges on and don't try to compare yourself to the younger version of yourself, which we all do, beat ourselves up and say, oh, I used to this or I used to that, but spend time more in the present to just say, this is the version of me today, and that I'm going to age with grace.
I call it the once upon a time. Once upon a time. I think
yes.
That's such a brilliant view of aging as a gift. And you are such a fantastic mentor and coach and wanting to share your knowledge with the next generation. Theo, how do you find joy? What's your daily routine for finding some happiness?
The daily joy that I find is just not taking myself too seriously, spending a lot of time with my family and that guiding principle. And I find joy in also traveling with my kids. I find it in nature and also just being silent because we're just inundated with so much noise that I find joy in just being quiet.
Well, here at Snazzy and Sage, we also love to ask the question about style. What's your go-to style piece?
My go-to style piece is what I have on. It is a blue blazer, but I just think the category of having a blazer, I always have one hanging in the car because you can spruce it up just like that and it changes your persona. So my go-to is something that makes you feel confident and good. And mine is this very bold blue blazer and it's unstructured. So it's a really nice day to night, business to casual that you can just put on over a black dress, over a black t-shirt, over anything, and you can transform.
And that's so true because a blazer can go from jeans in the day to a dress in the evening and makes you business ready at any time.
Yes.
So Theo, what's next for you?
What's next for me is to continue my connection with entrepreneurs. And I have a course and I have a platform where I do coaching. And I'm also working on the next volume of the wellness journey. And I'm going to be collaborating with a doctor on that as a co-author. And I am also working on a new book, Powerful Lessons for Entrepreneurs. So I've got creative projects going on as well as continuing to be a voracious learner.
Thank you so much for being here today. You are so inspiring with how you've pivoted from entrepreneurship into the wellness journey, into speaking and sharing your message with millions of entrepreneurs out there. Thank you, Theo.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to connect.
Thank you for tuning in to Snazzy and Sage. If you loved today's episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend. Want to elevate your style and confidence? Visit snazzyandsage.com to explore individual and group coaching that helps you look and feel your best from the inside out. Until next time, stay snazzy.